Okie dokie, well it's Sunday morning and it's raining. Not much else I can say about it. Now, in the meantime, since I last put a video up, I have assembled a couple of assemblies, which basically are dead straightforward. This is the front of the machine and has a drawer here. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem to work very well. There may be other stuff to sort of balance it back later, no idea. But it's where your balls go, and that lifts up. Again, I haven't figured out why, but a lot of these things kind of come to you eventually. And this, very simple, that is what knocks your balls about. There you go. So that's one thing, and the other is this. Now, obviously this must show, but I'm not exactly sure where. But it's got this red stuff in behind, same thing again, but it has a loudspeaker here. That's good, isn't it? And an on-off switch. It also has a few bits that I haven't actually pushed right home yet, but which I will do, because there is more to it. Oh, that is home, and that one is home now. There we are. And this bit goes over the top of the speaker. There's a little slot there for the wire to go through, and presto, there we are. Now, whether the speaker being in there helps its volume or whatever, I don't know. But hopefully it doesn't do anything too horrible for the volume. Now then, this piece goes on here. Again, in a lot of these cases I'm sort of scratching my head because I've no idea what they actually do. And this one goes on top of that, and this one goes on top of that, and there we are, all done. There we are, with wires hanging off. Right, we can stick those to a side because neither of them are required at the moment. Okay, these are the nippers that are supplied to remove plastic bits from the sprue. However, this is the base of the playing area, as it were, and you get these which all slot in. There's one there, I don't know where it goes yet, but the others are fairly straightforward. It says to carefully use the nippers to remove bits from the sprue, but as usual I shall do it my way. Because it's actually easier. That's not quite in there. It is now. Oh, there we are. Actually, that is easier. Yeah. I don't actually think I'm in wittering mode this morning, so most people play music on their videos, but I personally like to work in silence. Apart, of course, from the sound of my own voice, which, let's face it, what finer music could there be? And talking of music, I don't know, months, 2 months, year ago, whenever, I remembered a sort of like a phrase from a song from years ago, and I kind of thought to myself, I don't know, I could look for that on the internet. Anyway, eventually I did, the other day, and it was a song about the old lamplighter of long, long ago. And by golly, it was long, long ago. Back in the 1950s, would you believe? And it was sung by the Browns. And the Browns consisted of a fella and 2 girls. Well, I say girls. Job to know how old they were. And this is going back to 1959, where I got a thing about a radio show in black and white. Well, actually, it wasn't something, it was a TV show, but anyway, it was in black and white. And there was this fella with what could have been 2 sisters, well, 2 sisters, and they were comely wenches, is about all I can say. And so I then found on YouTube, golly YouTube, ho ho, a more up-to-date version, and there is the Browns, I think, I can't remember his name, Ed Brown or something, and the girls were there, except of course they weren't girls anymore, they were white-haired old ladies, but they were still singing. But the other thing that came up at the same time, you can really tell I'm bored now, can't you? Bother, there we are. Was they went off to sing the 3 bells. Well, this is a sort of religious, I don't know, it's a religious subject, in as much as it's the story of the little valley town where the bells are ringing for little Jimmy Brown who'd just been hatched. And then the next verse is when he gets married and the bells are ringing and the people in church pray for guidance from above, etc. And then he snuffs it. All very sad. Not many to go now. Oh. Well, we seem to have more than I actually have holes for. Well, there you go. They do give you spares. Ah, come off, come off. There's plastic everywhere. So, there we are. Bits of plastic. I mean, I've done this, or I did this very much when I was a boy. I made plastic kits, hence removing stuff from the sprues, but never really did anything for me, because once you've glued some pieces of plastic together and painted it, and I think the skill is in the painting, you can basically say, that's it, I've done it, what am I going to do with it? You could actually set it, I suppose, in a diorama, which fair enough. Or hang it from the ceiling, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't appeal to me. Now, having turned it over, well, you can now see the sort of playing surface, and presumably lights will come on under these things. No idea. This piece here is quite interesting because it is described as a piece of paper. Which is electrically whatever. Oh, come off. And you stick it on here. Well, that came off very easily to start off with, and that bloody well won't. I think, fortunately this supplies you with two of these, because I think I've made an on-camera bog up. However, we'll see if we can get out of it. The answer is probably no. I don't know why that suddenly stuck to that. My golly, these Chinese have some sticky glue. Now, will that go back down? Do we think it will? No, unfortunately I've got another one of them, so we'll do it a slightly different way. Mind you, I mean, when I say we've got another of them, it's quite possible that it needs using underneath or something. No, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think they anticipated that some idiot would make a bog up of it, which indeed I have. Now we just have to hope that that comes off there. Oh, I see, this one's sticky as well. Got it, yes of course it is. Gosh, I'm an idiot. Right, now then, what we now have is all sorts of bits and pieces. Not too many of them actually, to be perfectly honest with you. But this one goes in there with a nut underneath. Ooh. I have difficulty in picking up nuts nowadays. I could say life is not fair to old gits, but oops, here we are. But that's just the way it is. Should be another nut here. Yep. Oh, I tried to upload the last video, which was number 6, and wandered off because I do, whilst it was being loaded, and came back and, well, it wasn't going to fly. So I, oops, did it again and sort of actually stayed there. Not sure whether that should be loose. Don't know. Yeah, I did. I stayed there and waited until it loaded, which took some little time because uploads are always bloody slow. And then it said, no, we can't do anything with that. I'm like, why not? And the answer was that it'd be easier if I got that lined up and then stuck that in there. There we go. I could only upload 10-minute videos, and I think that one was 15, and they said no, that's too long. But you can upload it if you are approved or something or other. So anyway, all it amounted to was they sent me a code for my on the phone, and they said, oh, you know, your phone's verified, you can go ahead now. Why verifying my telephone was relevant in any way whatsoever, I have absolutely no idea. Now these go somewhere, but I'll have to check. Yep. Sometimes with these pieces, let's do them the other way around so that the actual C10 it says on there, you see, and if you could see in there, you don't want to see C10. So yep, yeah, that didn't, anyway, so I was able to upload it and it was all A-OK, as they say. Do they say that anymore? I don't know. Now this piece here goes in well, now then, it looks as though it's that away, and the screw holes which are there appear to be there. Well, I mean, they would be, wouldn't they? And now, guess what I've done? I lost the hepping screws. What's happened to the screws? Oh, there they are. Right. Ooh. Teeny weeny little screws. But one in there. I bought this. This is a little sort of screwdriver, mini screwdriver with lots of mini bits that I got in Lidl. I am a great fan of Parkside tools, which are sold in Lidl, although not often enough, and they don't usually manage to sell the blasted batteries. So anyway, there we are. That is as far as we are going for now, because that is as far as I have researched what to go on next, and there's a whole load of stuff to go on next. Yeah, loads and loads of stuff to go on here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, fine. Goodbye.